Check. Good morning. Welcome to West Hills Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, which we affectionately call WOOF. All are welcome here this Thanksgiving Sunday, whether you are still full from the Carb Fest on Thursday, or if you have virtually, as in, not virtually as in virtue, attended the gym every day since. All are welcome no matter the color of your skin, your gender orientation, whether you're watching here in the sanctuary or live from home or later this week from home. You are welcome no matter your immigration status or what you believe or don't believe. All are welcome here. We have a very special speaker today, the Reverend Dr. Lynn Ungar. She is many things. She is a UU minister, a poet, and a dog trainer who also serves as the co-administrator of a very large Facebook group that you might know, the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society. A fun fact this morning is that all of today's readings are her own poems, and also our opening hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, was inspired by Rumi but written by Lynn. We'll now take a few moments to greet each other, and I'm going to suggest a conversational topic of what is your favorite holiday tradition, and I will call you back after a couple minutes by ringing the chimes. So find someone you don't know and welcome them. If you could please find your seats. If you could please find your seats, we can continue these conversations during the coffee hour downstairs. Hello? Hello? I love the enthusiasm of your welcoming one another. We will now light the chalice. Ursa, if you would like to come up and light the chalice. I have some words from the Reverend Victoria Safford. You are beloved. It is so easy to forget this. Our calling on this earth is to remember and remind each other with every move we make, every action, every breath. Our calling is to remember and remind each other without ceasing who we are and what, which is beloved. We'll now say our affirmation together. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful and what is wondrous. Let us open our minds to learn what is true and what is mysterious. Let us open our hearts to love ourselves and our neighbors.
I'd like to invite you. I would like to remember to turn on the mic, which I warned was going to be a problem. So you'll just have to wave, like, Lynn, turn on the mic. I'll be back. I'd like to invite you into worship with this poem entitled The Way Through. If we're going to be honest, it's hard to see a pathway out of this. Empathy might not be dead, but discord and division have so overgrown the field, it's hard to imagine a way to harvest peace. Of course, there's always counting on a miracle. It works in the movies. Although the truth is clearly that miracles by their very nature are not to be relied on. Except, of course, that the caterpillar carries beneath its green skin tiny fragments of what will become the monarch butterfly's wings. The azure dragonflies you see at play in any pond or lake or stream are an echo from 300 million years ago, when their giant ancestors stormed the sky. The minerals in your bones aren't different than the limestone where those fossils are found. I'm not saying it's all going to be joy and delight. I'm saying that life is long and complicated, and we belong to a family that has found a million ways to thrive. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in spirit and or in body to join in singing our opening hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
We'll sing it once together, and then we'll break into a 3-part round. Here we go. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again.
We are in the very season of gratitude. And in spite of the headlines of the day heralding our next disaster, we can still find much to be grateful for this time of year. Personally, I enjoy noticing that the moss is so thick and green on the trees. When I moved to Oregon, I was charmed by the ferns growing out of the tree moss, and even more charmed to learn they were called licorice ferns for their licorice-flavored rhizome. I hope I said that right. At Foothills Park along the Willamette River, there is a William Stafford quote carved in stone. Oregon is insanely green. It is the thin light left over from Eden. And we get to live here in the middle of all this beautiful green. You only have to look out the window. This week there have been gatherings of family and friends. So much wonderful food. So much. And also opportunities to deliver food to others in our community. Here at WOOF, we are asked to share our gifts of time, talent, and also our financial gifts too. If the ushers could come forward to pass the baskets. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your gifts with all of us. Let us say our words of gratitude together. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for all those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others. Izzy?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Izzy. I'm the Director of Religious Exploration here at WOOF. I work with the kids and families. And today, I'm going to read you a story about one of Elephant and Piggy's very good friends, the pigeon. The pigeon will ride the roller coaster. I'm getting emotional. Words and pictures by Mo Willems. Joy, today is the day the pigeon will ride the roller coaster. Roller coasters. I've been a quiver with anticipation ever since I first heard about them. Riding will not be easy. I will need a ticket. But I will have a ticket. There will be a line. But I will demonstrate exemplary patience. The question is not, will I be ready for the roller coaster, but will it be ready for me? I can see it in all of its roller coastery glory. Wee! Wowee! So fast. Oh. It will be awesome. Sure, when it's over, I'm going to feel a lot of things. I will be excited because it will be thrilling. I will feel sad because it is over. Will I be ready to do it again? You bet. I will feel proud because I did it. I will feel dizzy because it is a roller coaster. Phew, I amaze myself. What am I waiting for? The time is now. This pigeon will ride the roller coaster. A line, just as I suspected. Wait. My turn. Ticket. Here I go. Put. You have got to be kidding me. Again? You bet. This is a great story about expectations and versus reality. Yeah, sometimes we have ideas about things that might always be or what they might be like. Here at WOOF, for many, many years, we had something called Group Soup on Sundays once a month. And that's no longer happening, but we want to keep the tradition of being in community with each other and feeding each other. So today is Super Sunday, which means it's the 5th Sunday of the month when all ages of kids are together and they work on one thing together. And today they'll be making build your own tacos for you down in the coffee room after the service. If you're hungry and would like to be served by kids, I will make sure they wash their hands so good. And please join us downstairs after the service for that. So kids, you are welcome to get up now. We're going to sing you to your classrooms today, which is the kitchen.
what the angel didn't say. I noticed that when the angel spoke to Mary, she got news that God was pleased with her and that she would bear a son destined for greatness. But no mention was made of torture and early death and the way her heart would break completely and irrevocably. The angel told her not to be afraid, but didn't mention the need to take the baby and run from Herod, or even giving birth in a stable. If the heavenly being hinted at a future seated at the right hand of God, it never acknowledged how different that feels from having him seated at the family table for supper and the ache of an empty chair. Maybe she knew and said yes anyway. Maybe the big ask is to open the door to suffering, which is the door marked love.
There is so much happiness in this world. Goodness, love, and beauty grow within and all around us. Together here, we celebrate in a circle deep enough to hold all the joy in our lives. There is so much pain in the world. Each of us knows loss and suffering. Together here, we create a circle of compassion wide enough to hold all the sorrow in our lives. The water in this bowl on the altar represents the community of compassion that bears all sorrows. The water also holds the community of celebration that shares all the joys. If you feel moved to do so, please come forward and place a stone in the bowl of water. And if you do come up this aisle and return down that aisle for traffic control. And you have the option to say a few words about your joy or your sorrow.
Once again, I am in awe of the caring and love in this community. That's all I can say is just, I'm in awe.
My sister probably has dementia and going in to see a neurologist next week. It's my younger sister.
This stone's for my daughter because she brings me so much joy.
These are two stones of sorrow, one for Sarah Beckwith, and one for Andrew Wolf.
Three and a half years after I moved my mom out here, And a little over a year and a half after she started hospice, my mom passed away on Monday evening. I'm looking forward to being back.
I'm thankful that the condo that I lived in for 8 years and that I have vacated 6 months ago finally sold. Yay.
And one final stone for all the joys and all the sorrows left unspoken this morning. We will now have a moment of silent reflection or meditation or prayer, as is your own tradition.
Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath. Holy breath. And holy name. Will you ease this pain again? Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? Both together. Holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? keep moving. Not slow down till the day is won. Don't believe in the nonsense. Clear your mind and stand your ground. If I rise up and take you down, it'll never knock us down. You gotta keep moving. Keep with and hold the line. You gotta keep moving. Show the tyrants we are of one mind. Don't give in to the chaos. Keep your focus on the light. We are not alone, all is not lost. Do not give up the fight. It's not lost. Do not give up the fight. We will 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 not give up the fight.
Waiting. The lightning might or might not strike, and your house might or might not burn. The hurricanes might or might not cross paths, and who can say whether you will be in the crosshairs? The chills and fever could or could not be a sign of worse to come, and the test will take a few days. We can't guarantee your vote will be counted or that the winner will be lawfully installed. You might feel as if you were balanced on the edge of a knife, except that cutting is quick and time has stretched, thick and gummy as the smoke-heavy air. We would fix it if we could, if energy and talent and commitment were enough. They aren't. Sometimes you just sit at the top of the slide and hope there might be someone to catch you at the bottom. I have a confession to make. I figured when we agreed on November 30th as a date for me to come here that given that we are on the first day of Advent, it would be a perfect time for me to pull out an old sermon on waiting, blow off the dust, buff it up a little bit, and have something good to go. Except then I got to thinking about what waiting feels like in this particular holiday season. Because frankly, lately we have been pretty thin on the glad tidings of comfort and joy, and a lot thicker on the sense of impending doom. We are heading into the holiday roller coaster, but not necessarily with Pigeon's level of verve. So waiting for Santa to arrive feels a whole lot different than it might have felt to, say, wait for the resolution of the Cuban Missile Crisis. What's going to happen to my health care? What's going to happen to my immigrant neighbor? What is going to happen to reproductive freedom, gay rights, trans lives? What is going to happen to democracy? Kind of have to wait and see. Waiting is hard, even when it's just a matter of being stuck on hold or watching a train ever so slowly trundle past when you were late for an appointment, or hanging about while your car gets the oil changed, waiting for the results of medical tests, or to see how someone will recover from head trauma can be torturous. Things are going to happen. Mostly they are out of our control, but with just enough opportunity for us to influence matters that we feel like we should do something to make sure that it all turns out okay. Which is a dreadful situation to be in. It is also most of life. And yet, here we are at the start of the holiday season. We are expected to be, if not giddy with anticipation like Pigeon, at least generally speaking of good cheer. Advent is a month of looking forward to the birth of a child. Happy anticipation, if there ever was such a thing. Except if we're going to get real, anticipating bringing a baby into your family, however joyful that might be, is pretty fraught. Medical complications for mother or baby are a real concern, but also the whole notion of being ready for such a major upheaval in your life is daunting at the very least. The whole panoply of baby gear, of nursery and crib and stroller and car seat and changing table and diaper pail and would be enough to set you spinning. But then there is the matter of being ready to take complete responsibility for the life and well-being of another human being. One who I might note is a complete stranger. My daughter has made it to the age of 27, and I'm still pretty sure that I am unprepared for motherhood. Which is why maybe it's a good thing to have a month-long holiday on the theme of waiting to try and give us some skills. The winter holidays, not just Christmas, but also Hanukkah and Yule, have stories to tell that speak to the times that we are living in. The Christmas story, remember, is not just about a baby who's born surrounded by animals and is the recipient of gifts from kings. It is the origin story of a hero who is fragile, born outside of the safety and comfort of any home, forced to flee from the death threats of a mentally unstable tyrant. Now, if the stories are true, he did develop superpowers as he grew up, turning water into wine, healing the sick, walking on water, feeding multitudes with just a little bit of bread and fish. But it turns out that the superpowers of Jesus are not so different from the powers that are required of us in this season. Maybe not walking on water, although around here there's a whole lot of walking through water to be done. But somehow, whatever our state of overwhelm might be, the holiday season calls upon us to bring festivity and celebration to a world that feels like water might be the best there is on offer. We're trying to heal a hurting world in the midst of our own hurt, and maybe literally caring for family members who have succumbed to the cold, flu, COVID season or worse. We are trying to figure out how to feed the multitudes as SNAP benefits go missing or are cut, while needing to attend to holiday cooking or just the ongoing challenge of getting dinner on the table. It turns out that the miracles of Jesus, his superpowers, are the kind of miracles that go with the idea of God becoming flesh, the holy, fully inhabiting an ordinary human life. Jesus doesn't stop bullets or runaway trains. He doesn't fly or have X-ray vision or swing from spider webs. There are stories and carols and sermons aplenty that refer to Jesus as king, but the reality is exactly the opposite. Jesus' power comes from his humanity, his vulnerability, that picture of a baby in a feeding trough, of his care for the hurting and dispossessed, his willingness to tell the truth as he understands it to anyone, rich or poor, powerful or oppressed. Of course, it turns out that he dies for that dedication to speaking his truth, which is not the most cheerful way for the story to go. We don't want the waiting to include wondering whether speaking the truth will eventually lead to terrible consequences from the powers that be. It's not supposed to go that way. But the story tells us that is sometimes the way it goes. That is sometimes the way it has always gone. There have always been tyrants. And there have always been those who chose to confront tyrants, not with violence, but with dedication to standing solidly in commitment to their own values and beliefs, which is its own kind of a miracle and can lead to the most surprising results. If you don't believe me, I suggest that you watch the video of the president's recent meeting with Zoran Mondani. Of course, while Advent is the Christian month of waiting for the coming of the infant Christ, it's hardly the only story of the season that features resistance to tyrannical oppression. Consider the story of Hanukkah, which it turns out is actually two stories from rather different periods of time. I expect you probably know the first, presumably historical one, which comes from the Book of Maccabees, a text that didn't actually make it into the Hebrew canon, and is ironically only known to us in Greek, the language spoken by the people who are the bad guys in the story. Because I believe I mentioned life is complicated. It tells the story of the Jews in a time when they were ruled by the Syrians. King Antiochus followed the Greek religion, and he demanded that the Jews do likewise, and any Jews who insisted on keeping their beliefs and practicing their faith were killed by soldiers who were sent out from town to town to do the cruel king's bidding. Wonder where we've heard that before. But Judah Maccabee led a band of guerrilla fighters who resisted, eventually winning against all odds, finally restoring the Jews to their holy temple and to the practice of their religion. Victory! Yay! The second story comes from much later, in the Gemara, the later section of the Talmud which records the wisdom of the great rabbis. And only here does the story appear of the Jews finding only enough consecrated oil to burn the sacred lamp in the temple for one day, and how that oil miraculously burned for 8 days until there was time for more to be pressed. So what then is the real story, the real miracle? Is the real miracle the military victory of a small band of guerrilla fighters over their far more numerous and powerful oppressors? Is the miracle the power of one man to change history by standing up for his beliefs and his people, by refusing to let himself be defined by those who were ready to kill him for his differences? Is the miracle the persistence of those who were unwilling to simply give up, who managed to create a new world through their determination to keep seeing their vision of the right until that vision became real? Or is the real miracle the one inserted in the story much later, after subsequent Jewish attempts to rebel against tyrants were brutally put down, leading to far worse conditions than those that led to the rebellion in the first place? Is the real miracle not so much the assurance that right will prevail in a battle with might, but rather that whatever our circumstances, there is a holy light that refuses to go out, that shines through the injustice and the struggle, that somehow serves as a beacon and a guide? I can't tell you the answer, but I know that this year, as every year, we are sliding into the darkest days when the sun sets impossibly early and rises impossibly late. And I know that next year, as every year, the light will begin to grow, imperceptibly at first, and then faster and faster until the days feel impossibly long. I know that the only thing you can say about a time of waiting is that you do not have to come out of it the same as you went in. Now, there is no guarantee that you will emerge as a new, improved version of yourself, let alone a new, improved version of the country or the world. But change does happen, and you can be part of it, even if only in small ways. In fact, you will be part of it one way or another, because change always happens, and only in small ways. I will tell you this. I have come to embrace what I am calling apocalyptic optimism. Terrible things are happening. Terrible things are no doubt going to continue to happen. But I don't know how the story ends, and neither do you. And neither do the pundits who want to assure you that they know what comes next. We don't know how the story ends. And we never will, because the story doesn't end. Events will continue to unfurl whether we like them or not, whether or not we personally are present to have an opinion. But in the meantime, we can embrace our own miraculous powers to feed the hungry, to create celebration, to stand in the power of our own truth, to resist oppression, to serve as a light and a beacon to others when they need a guide. I wrote this Hanukkah poem many years ago, but I think it still stands. Come down from the hills. Declare the fighting done. Be bold, declare victory, even when the temple is wrecked and the tyrants have not retreated, only coiled back like a snake prepared to strike again. Come down. Try to remember a life gentled by daily acts of domestic faith. The pot set to boil, the bed made up, the table set in calm expectation that when the sun sets, we will still be here. Come down and settle. Unlearn the years of hiding. Light fires that can be seen for miles, that dance and spark and warm the frozen marrow. Set lamps in the window. Declare your presence, your loyalties, the truths for which you do not expect to have to die. It would take a miracle, you say, to carve such a solid life out of the shell of fear. I say, you are the stuff from which such miracles are made. Blessed be, and amen. Will you rise in body and or spirit to sing our closing hymn, Tending the Spark?
And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope when love's inside our beating heart. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives inside our grieving hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow.
It would take a miracle to get us through this season, this time, this apocalyptic age. You are the stuff of which such miracles are made. Please join together, face one another to sing Carry the Flame.